Hey folks, it's James. I am here to do a review update. Now, as some of you know, I am a very big Mosin Nagant fan. I love the rifle. It's just a low cost, low maintenance, very low maintenance, and just an overall good rifle. I mean, this thing outlasted World War I and II. So, anyway, before we do the updates, number one rule of all, always check to make sure your weapon is always empty. It is for the safety of yourself and the safety of others. Let's see. Yep, nice and empty. Great. Run this a few times just to make sure that the breech is empty. Okay. All right, back to the review. Now, as I said, I love the Mosin Nagant. Some of the updates I have done is very interesting. Okay, I had replaced the old steel plate with a rubber stock. Well, the problem is the rubber stock is basically just as hard as the steel. So, yeah, very thick, very hard. Now, the other thing I had done with this rifle is add the little pistol grip. Reason being, it gives more of a comfortable feeling for the rifle. You are just so much, it just feels more natural and comfortable. You're able to hold it more steady. You can hold your position a lot longer, especially when you're on those big long hunting trips, you know. When you're off in the woods, you're out there, you're just out for hours and almost days practically. You want to hold that one position all the time. This, after a while, will create a cramp in your wrist. Where here, it's a lot more sturdy and you're more relaxed is the best way to put it. And it gives better control. So yeah, those were the original upgrades I made to this weapon. And I had originally had two of them. So I was looking at the other one and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go all out on this one. So we're going to place down the rifle. Yep, it is currently uncocked, so it's safe. And again, before doing anything, making absolutely sure it is empty. Making sure it's all clear. I know some of you who own this rifle, you're looking at me like, why is he opening up the bottom? Because I like to be absolutely sure that there's nothing in here that can be dangerous. Okay. Check down. Yep, it is empty. Alright. Now we're ready. Here is the new upgraded version of the Mosin Nagant that I had done. Doesn't that look sweet? I mean, wow. Holy cow, what a transformation. Now, yes, we are going to go over what I had done and what it did and everything like that. No promotion, but I am going to go and tell you all about these products. ATI Mosin Nagant synthetic stock. What is it and what does it do and so on and so forth? Well, here we go. It is, like I said, it is a synthetic stock. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, oh, I read so much bad reviews. I'm going to go over that right now about all these things people are saying about it. Number one, there's a gap between the stock and the barrel. People saying it's because it's free floater. Not necessarily. You can make a free floater. That's no problem. But the reasoning is not. The reason is because you did not grip down tight enough to close the gap. The stock is designed to be a tight fit. That's what it's meant for. That means you're going to have to press hard. You're going to screw down hard. You're going to be tightening really hard. And you're going to be pressing so hard until everything snaps in. And you're just looking at the instructions saying, well, it says it's just a drop-in. No, it's called gunsmithing. You are updating a rifle. It's going to not exactly fit precise, but where it's not supposed to fit precise is the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be tight. Alright. Another thing. It's a real light. It feels cheap. It feels like plastic. Synthetic stock. Fiberglass, plastic, merged to one to make it lighter. The reason why you're complaining about it is because you're used to this old wooden steel stock. So yes, this stock is going to feel 10 times lighter practically. And I did go and measure, folks. It will literally knock about close to 4 pounds off your rifle. Almost. Don't take my word for it. Unless you want to. Anyway. So yes, that's why it feels cheap. Is because it's made to be lighter. So it makes it a lot easier to use. Now some of the other things is that they're saying that, oh well, you have to do a lot of sanding. And you have to do a lot of Dremel. Okay. This one ticks me off. I understand that you're a little peed off about having to do a little bit of sanding because of little sharp corners. It's a small company. They don't mass produce these in huge quantities. I mean, they kind of do, but they're not like Ruger or Colt or Smith & Wesson, okay? They don't mass produce these in a huge assembly line put out about close to 20,000 of these per day. I mean, in all honesty, I don't think there's that many rifles left for you to be able to do that. So, yes, the quality check could be a little bit better. But a little sandpaper. If you're too lazy to take sandpaper, lightly rub. Once it's all clean and smooth, you take a little bit of 3-in-1 gun oil and you just clean it up a little bit so that way it's nice and smooth. Then you don't deserve it. Second is about the dremeling. Well, here's what I have to say about these people. First, let me ask you a question. Did you buy it used? Did you decide to be a cheapskate and buy it used? If you had originally bought it new, it would came in a nice little box case here. Would you slid out? Would you get this when you open it up? Oh my God, it's like opening up the Holy Grail. Oh, nice thick padding. That's where your rifle is supposed to go in, little stock sits in. And within the very box itself, when you first open it, before you even look at the stock, guess what I find? Instructions. Let's take a look at these instructions. Let's see, this is 2, 4, 5 pages of instructions. Okay? On page 1, it tells you how to disassemble it. Real simple. And if you're too dumb to go and read it, you can go to their website. And they basically have videos that shows you. So yeah, page 2, all the little details, what to look for, what to go and do. Page 3, getting down to the nitty gritty is so easy. You literally are just pulling the few parts apart. Now, on page 4. Due to many versions of the Mosin Nagant, you may need to remove some material from the stock walls in order for the cartridge to work properly. So, go and make sure you're fully listening for this, okay? Not all Mosin Nagants are 100% exact. There could be a couple inches of metal on this side, or a little bit further piece over here. It is a way you have to go and figure out exactly where it is. Well, guess what? They take the guesswork out for you. They show you the additional places you may just need to go and trim out just a little bit. And like I said, it's not just simply you think you get to take the stock and you take the gun and you go, oh look, it fit in Zach. No, it's supposed to be a tight group fit. So, and here's the other part. Page 5. Okay? They literally give you rubbing alcohol. Clean the little part right here for your cheek rest. And you just slowly peel and curve over. And they give you step-by-step how to do this. And that's it. If nothing, you are literally looking at 1, 2, 3 pages of how to just take your gun apart. 1 page of how to go and put it on. And the last page of how to go and put on the cheek rest. What more do you need? It is that simple. It is that easy. If you can't figure out how to do it, then don't do it. Ask somebody else to do it. Someone who has one of these. Or go to their website. So yeah, like I said, I've seen so many people do reviews on Amazon on this rifle, and that's what they complain about, are those simple things right there. That is too light. It doesn't just slip on. There's a gap. It feels too fake. So yeah, those are what I have to say about those people who complain about all that. So, now you know the product. Let me talk about how it actually is now. So, like I said, got rid of the gap. Looks good. Still empty. Still good. Like I said, it's a real light stock. I love it. It's real light and makes it easier to maneuver with it, especially if you're on a hunting trip and stuff. Recoil pad, compared to the other one I just showed you, this is like wicked soft. Real soft. So, yeah. It's called Scorpion. And, oh my god, it's just real nice. It has a rubber padding in the back, and it has the little teeth marks here, so that way it gives you the non-slip guard. Oh god, that feels so nice. Chin guard, love it. It comes with checkers right across here, and right across here. So you get that nice firm grip. Alright, and as you saw, that wasn't just all I did to this poor rifle. I will go and talk about this, and I will go and correct so many errors that people complain about this. I added the tech rail for the scope. Now, people complain that the bolt strips and the screw strips and the thing is cheap and it seesaws. I'm going to point out all the reason why I did that to you. Now, get nice and close here for you. You see that? Right there. And right there. Those are screws. You have to loosen them in order to bring the other screws on top down to help level it. And then you retighten it so it keeps that screw where it's supposed to stay. The other thing is they complain how it seesaws. You probably know why it happens to them a lot. Is because they did remove, I should say, the little spring piece right here, the little metal plate that's a spring for your rear sight. They removed that. You don't remove it because it adds tension. It keeps it tight so it doesn't move. So yeah, I went with let's see, I believe this is about an 8-inch tech rail. And yes, they do have so many versions of this, it is beyond ridiculous. The reason why I went with the longer version is so that way I can be able to keep the scope out and further apart, and so it doesn't move around and everything. So it's all good. But the other versions they have is where the rail goes over where you load. And I know what people are saying. You could don't. Well, it's fine. You could just do one bullet at a time. Okay. But when you do that, you open up another can of worms. When you open it, the bolt handle comes straight up. That means it's going to hit the rail, which means you can't really open this thing. Now, they do have other things for this. I just take down the bolt for you so it's easier to go and discuss this easier. Alright. The other thing that a lot of people do is they get a reverse bolt handle or a side angle bolt handle. There's two versions that I've seen. One is where you simply cut that flat off. I mean flat, straight flat. You drill, then you add a, let's see, what is it called? A screw-in tool. I don't know the exact name for it. And then basically it's just a new bolt handle that's bent at an angle. And you just screw it in after you put a little bit of glue and glue in it. And you just tighten it down and then you're all set. You got a side angle bolt handle. So when it comes up, the bolt will be off this way. The other one is where you actually have to cut it about, I think it was about finger height, about here, yeah, where my fingernails are. You go and cut right about there. They have to Dremel in just a little bit, and they put a rubber washer on top of that. Then on the side right over here, you have to drill, and then you have to go and reset it so that way there could be a screw in. You slap this bolt on there, you go and glue everything, you tighten down that screw, and then you got another side angle bolt action. One, I don't have that many tools to go and be able to do something like that yet. Two, I like how the bolt is just straight flat like this. Okay? For some reason, I just love where it's just at the side here, so when I need to go and do that, it just simply flip up, pull back, flip forward, boom, and I'm ready to roll again. So that what makes it really neat. That's why I like it at an angle like this. One of these days, I'll probably pick up another Mosin, and I want to go and try the bolt handle piece, but like I said, get the proper tools before you even think about doing that. So, another thing that people complain about the rail is that you can't see out your scope. Because you're used to using your scope like this. That's a little awkward to go and shoot. I mean, you're going to have to be trying to fire it like this, and you can't even really get your shoulder around into that. So it kind of sucks. This is something that a lot of people don't tell you. Especially when it comes to the rails. You're going to need to get a new scope. It's called a wide-eyed relief. Alright? Anywhere between 2 to 6 inches relief. Or you could just simply go with the old big laser sighted versions. I like the scope. So you get the wide-eyed scope. Thankfully I had one already. Yes, I do have to lean in just a little bit, but with very small adjustments on this, I can actually be able to see perfectly fine. And look how relaxed I am right now. Okay? And it's a 312 by 40 millimeters. Not bad. So it's good for got some good range to it. So yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people complained about was the little rail here. And now you know why. Is because they don't, one, read the instructions. Two, they get it used or from another company and they resell it even though it's considered new, it's actually used. So you have to go to the source and get it from the source with the instructions so you know exactly what you're doing. Or look it up on YouTube. I know there's a lot of people who talked about this already. Let's see, what else can I talk about? The stock comes with the little swivel pieces, the little clamps, so you can be able to add a sling, or you can do what I did, add the bipod. Gives it a lot more durability when you're going shooting and everything. So it's real nice. I know some people have already saw this, but I'll go ahead and talk about it a little bit more. This piece right here, you'll notice that I took off the old iron sights. So I have this little piece right here. Now, before I go any further into talking about this, please read up on your laws of your state. Okay? Some states says that about cutting, about the length of the barrel it has to be. Some of them basically say you're not allowed to. I can, as long as it's over 18.5 inches. And let me go and clarify this. That's not measuring from the outside. It's measuring from the inside with the breech closed. A lot of mistakes, breech open. No, you can't do it to the breech closed. But like I said, it depends on your state. Make sure you read up on it. All right. James, why didn't you go and cut that piece off? Well, there's actually 2 reasons. One, I don't have the proper tools for it. Now I know what you're thinking. Just get a regular handsaw and just saw away at it. No, that is the worst thing you can ever do. Alright, there's multiple reasons. One, when you go and just do a straight cut like that, you can actually leave small imperfections which will go and throw off your accuracy of your ammunition. Even though you seem like you have it all clean and set and everything like that, with it just being a straight edge like that, just the smallest dent or even anything can throw it off completely by a mile practically. Okay, where you maybe just totally dead center like this, that little piece can throw you off by about like 2 degrees from where you're starting at, and that'll end up being about close to 40 feet away from where you were actually aiming for. So that's one of the reasons I did not go and cut it, because you need specialized tools to go and give it a nice round bore head. Okay, it has to be smooth and rounded inside and on the outside. You have to leave a groove on the outside wide away from the inside. The reason is, if you go and hit it, if it gets dented, if you go and smack into concrete, if you jam it into a wall or something like that, and you make a little dent in there, it will not affect your ammunition. Alright, second reason, maybe I want to go back to old iron sights. Just simply tap it back on, tighten it down, pop this baby off, put on the old rear end, slap it in, you're all set, you're back to your original. So yes folks, that was my review of the upgrades I have made. It is fully awesome. I like it. I mean, compared to the old original, it's real nice. It's just so nice. Now, I want to go and make sure I clarify one thing. With the original, you're used to the old weight. Compared to the new one, you're like, okay, this is way lighter. Unless you did what I did, add on your little freaking bipod and your scope and tech rails, it will throw the weight off just a little bit. It will feel a little bit heavier towards the front end. So, don't be shocked about that. The reason is because you got a lot of weight in the front and none in the rear. In the old Mosin, you're practically balanced. Okay? Yeah, it's a little heavier there. Move it back just a bit. There we go. Look at that. Nice and balanced. If I did that with the other one though, let's see what happens. Yeah. All the weight's right here actually. It's this little bipod here. If I remove the bipod, it actually is a little bit more heavier towards the other end. So, either way, you're screwed. So the balance of it is a little off. Don't be surprised by that. So now you have a heads up about that. So anyway, those were the upgrades I have made. Oh, let me go and show you this. Because I ordered it from the factory, well, yeah, through the factory, through Amazon. So technically I went through a third party. They gave me a 13 round holder for the little Mosin Nagant. Well, I don't know, I don't exactly like it on the rifle in all honesty. Me, surprisingly enough, it actually fits on the forearm pretty good. You just have to go and stretch it out a little bit. That'll be another thing I'll go and discuss sometime, is going how to stretch the band so that we can be able to put it on your arm. The way I see it, it's good for when you have a rifle here and you're hunting, and if you just need to pop out, put it in, you're ready to go. So, yeah. That came with it for free. I just modified it a little bit so it fits more comfortably on my wrist instead of on my rifle. So, yeah. Those are all the upgrades. And please, if you're going to go and check these things out and you're like worried about what people are saying about how they don't like it because of this and this and this, I gave you all the reasons why they didn't like it. Okay? And all the reason why it didn't work. And a lot of it is because of stupid human error. I mean, hell, I saw one person who left the review on Amazon for the stock, okay? Gave it a 1 star. And he replied on there, I only got the stock. I thought I was getting the whole gun. You, sir, are a moron. They do not sell weapons like guns on Amazon. They'll sell parts, stuff like that, but not the whole gun. Second, on the title it says synthetic stock only. So this is just giving you an idea about the people who write the reviews for these types of things, okay? Don't be scared of what they say. Do real research into it. Watch videos. Go to the company itself's website and check them out. Go and see their actual feedback. To go and see what they write about the product. A lot of them go and do videos of instructions of how to put it on, how to use it correctly. It's free. So, yeah. So like I said, don't be afraid to do the upgrades. Just make sure you do your research. Make sure you got all your instructions. And most of all, make sure you have your tools. And as always, folks, be safe, okay? I'm James. Thank you very much.